Welcome back to another video of enlightenment in Microsoft Excel 2013. So in this video, we are going to tackle how to enter and edit data in a worksheet. We are going to open a saved workbook. We are going to know how to move information. We are going to know how to total figures in a range of cells. We are going to save a workbook, print a worksheet, close a workbook, and exit Excel. So yes, so let's jump right into it. So when we talk of create a new workbook, the Excel 2013 is a spreadsheet program that allows you to store, organize, and analyze information. Anyone can learn how to take advantage of the program's powerful features, whether you're keeping a budget, organizing, a training log, or even creating an invoice. Excel makes it easy and it's one of the perfect tools to use. A worksheet can contain data, charts, or both. Worksheets are used for maintaining predominantly numeric data in a tabulated or in a tabular form. So, to simplify numerous calculations and presenting numeric data graphically, our Microsoft Excel sheet is used. So let's go step by step on how to do this. So, as you all know, or how to open, as you all know, in our previous video how to open a Microsoft Excel. So we go to start, search for Excel, then click open, and it will open this this page where you will click the blank space and you will have created a new blank row column. So that's it on creating a new. So what about creating a new workbook from an existing workbook? How about that? That's interesting, right? So if you want to create a new workbook from an existing workbook, we will go to the File tab. Click on the File tab, then you click on New. Once you click on New, you will click on the New Workbook and you will have open a new Excel book worksheet. So that's how you open a new Excel worksheet from an existing or from another worksheet or from another workbook. Sorry. So that's it. We have discussed how to open a blank workbook and how to open a workbook from an existing workbook. So how about you start entering and editing data in a worksheet? So once you create a new workbook, you have a blank worksheet in which you can start entering your data. So when you want to enter your data, it's quite simple. Excel allows you to enter text into cells. The cells which we had said in the previous videos are these small boxes. Each cell will contain only one element of data, and the first name in one cell and surname in the adjacent cell to cater for the flow of information. So here we are going to do it step by step. So we're going to select the cell where you want to place our data, then you are going to type, then press accept the text or press enter on the keyboard. So let's do something like group, then enter. So when you press enter, the cell indicator goes right below the cell that you already keyed in data, and that's how you enter data. So what about editing data in a worksheet? We can double click on the cell that contains the data like that, and once you double click, you can use the left or right arrow key to move the cursor. You can use that to move the cursor, and you can edit it whenever you want. So let's say we want to put it in plural form. Good, we have edited it. And yeah, that's it about entering our data in Excel. So what about entering numbers? Numeric cells can be used for calculation and function. A numeric cell may contain whole numbers, decimal points, and all those characters. So we can select a cell, for example, let's remove that. Let's select this cell and type the numerical data in the cell. Let's type 120. That's a numerical data. So after typing that, we can accept the information by pressing enter, where the information has been accepted and has been entered in that cell. And after doing that, the highlighter of the cell has gone to the cell below it. So when we talk of entering numbers, formatted as text, when cells are formatted for text, all cell content are treated as text. Information is displayed exactly as it entered. There are two ways of enter numbers as text. So we can use as apostrophe character or the dialog box launcher. So let's start by using the apostrophe character. So you can select the cell that you want to enter info into, then press the apostrophe, then type numeric information you need the cell to hold. So like we can then press the apostrophe, then type the numeric that you want to enter and enter. Then you have entered numbers formatted as text. So this will be formatted as text. Or the other way you can do this is by clicking again. So once, no, not another way, but once you have done that, you can click on the cell that gives you the information like this. Then you press on this drop down button. And once you press on the drop down button, it will give you an option of number stored as text. So you can also do this using the dialog box. And when we talk of using the dialog box, it's in the ribbon of the home tab. In the number group, you can click the number dialog box and the format cell dialog box will appear. The number tab is displayed by default, and from this category list, let's click on text. Once you click on text, click OK and type the desired number or text in the cell. So what about 345? To accept the text, press enter key and it has been accepted. You see, it has been accepted. That's it on entering numbers formatted as text. So how about we enter dates? How do we enter dates in the Microsoft Excel 2013? So Excel offers several ways to include dates and times into your worksheet. This is highly dependent on the purpose of your worksheet. One will be needed to decide whether to insert a static or dynamic date and time. The static date and time won't change over time, but the dynamic date and time will change over time. So let's go how to enter dates and time. So we can select the cell that we want to enter our date. So let's select the cell. So let's use this cell where we want to enter our date. Then type the date in one of the following formats, such as so I've just put today's date over there. Then once you do that in that format, to enter a time, type it separating the hours from minutes with a full column. Then you press enter. this is the date. So if you want to enter time, you can press the hours. You can separate it using a colon. So we can put 4 colon 36, and that gives us our hours. And that's it on this, on how to enter the date and time in our Excel 2013. So how do we open a saved workbook in Excel 2013? That's very critical to note. And you can open a saved worksheet, that is a worksheet stored in a storage media like a flash disk or in the hard disk of the computer. This is either to display the data it may contain so as to interact with it, or to update it. So let's do a step by step. So we can click on the File tab and open and recent workbooks. So for me, I don't have any recent workbooks, but when you click on the recent ones, you will see them here, or you can go to your computer and browse. And when you do that, you will browse and you'll be able to get the different types of Excel workbooks that you want to open. So when you browse, it will open a dialog box where you can maneuver in your computer. So in my case, I store my documents in my documents, and here I will have all these. Yeah, I will have all these. That's that where I can move here my other downloads. I will have these. Yeah, and that's that. That's how to open a dialog box. That's how to open a file. So once you get the file that you want to open, you will click open and it will automatically open. And that's how to open an existing file in Microsoft Excel. So how do we move information in the Microsoft Excel? That's a very crucial thing to take note. How we move from that. So right now we're going to look at moving of information in the Microsoft Excel 2013. So as you work, you may be required to reorganize your ideas before presenting the final document. There may also be instances where you may want to duplicate a formula for use to another cell. The drag and drop, cut and paste, copy and paste option will help you do this without having to create the entire worksheet. So when we talk of the drag and drop, this allows you to move the information from a single cell or a range of cells. This is great for moving data over short distances, but challenge for moving to cell not displayed on the current screen. That's the challenge. And when we speak of cut and paste, this is a better method where we move information from different sheets in different workbooks. So let's look at the drag and drop method. So let's do it step by step. So we can select the cell that we want to move. Let's select the cells that we want to move. We've selected those cells. Yeah. So and I've selected the cells by clicking that cell and dragging it down to the cell that I want to include. And yeah. Then you point to the thick border surrounding the selected cells. The cursor changes to a four-headed arrow, as you can see there. We hold down the left button on our mouse. Then you can drag it wherever you want to drag it to. Then after you have dragged it, you place copy here or move here. and you have successfully dragged and dropped. So it's also crucial for us to learn how to use the undo button. The undo button, which is at the top left corner of our Excel page layout. It's on the quick access toolbar, and you can also access it by using the control key plus the Z key. This will cancel the action that you have undertaken to the last consecutive task that you did. So let's do that. In this case, we had dragged and dropped this section. So when we press the undo button, we will undo what we did over here. And other than the undo, we have the redo button, which is this button over here. So when you redo it, it will go back to what you had done. So it's just like a vice versa system. So let's use the cut and paste method. So formulas using relative cell reference are automatically updated when the cells they are referring to are removed using the cut and paste method. So one needs to be sure to check the cell reference after pasting. If even one accidental absolute reference is contained in your formula, the rest of your calculation could be altered. So in Excel, the cut and paste method is of crucial. You should be very sensitive when you're doing it. So let's do it practically. So we can select the cells that you want to move. These are the cells that we want to move. Then we press Ctrl X, or you can just right click and press cut. And after doing that, as you can see, there are matching ant borders surrounding the text or the cells that we want to cut and copy. So after that, we can go forward and paste it where we want to paste it. So for my case, I'll paste it over here. And that's exactly what will happen. It has been cut from this area and pasted to this area. And that is the cut and paste method. So let's look at the total figures in a range of cell. When we talk of a range of cell are any group of cells in a worksheet. Yes, any group of cells in a worksheet. So the group of cells that we had, like this and this, we can add another group over here, just some random numbers. So we can term this as a group of cells. So as a range of cells. A range is used to specify the data scope to be used in performing a totals within a worksheet. For example, in the above worksheet, you may need the total sales for the day of the week and totals for each entity throughout the week. That's that. So let's move as by step by step. So we can click on the first cell. Click on the first cell. So yeah. So you can click on this, and since we are looking for the total figure, we can place our total over here. Total. So the total figure will appear below here and below here. So as I said earlier, you first click on the cell, the first cell, then you press the shift button on your keyboard and drag the cell to the last cell. So after doing that, you can click shift key and drag till here, then click on the auto sum and it will give you the sum. This is the sum, this is the total sum of this row up to from this D2 to D5 and this E2 to E5. This is the total. That's how you do a total figure in a range of cells. So let's look on how to save a workbook. So perhaps we want to save this workbook, we want to save what we have done over here. How do we go about it? We can click the save button on the quick access toolbar, or alternatively we can go to the file tab, then click the option of save, which will redirect us to where we want to save our document, be it in the computer, OneDrive personal, or other place. So we can browse and we can get to see where we can save our document. So that's how you save a workbook. And the normal procedures of saving a workbook, you will be needed to provide the file name, you will be needed to provide the type of the document that you want to save. In our case, it will be an Excel type. So after giving all that, we will save the document. So in saving of a document, there are rules of naming the file. A file, so let's say we want to name this file, so you can say browse, and let's just say documents. So yeah, if we want to name this file over here, there are certain rules that we need to follow. Our file can have a maximum of 256 characters. These can either be letters, numbers, spaces, and a limited set of special symbols. A name should contain a valid character, maybe a letter of the alphabet, numeric digit, or some special character. And there are specific characters which should not be used in the naming of a document, such as the slash, the pipe symbol, the colons, and etc. So that's very crucial to take note. So with that being said, let's move on to the next thing that we are going to discuss. Let's discuss on how to on how to print a worksheet. So as all people do, this Excel can be needed to be handed in as a soft copy or as a hard copy. So this is the soft copy. You can send it via email, via mail to various people. But if you want to send your work to someone as a hard copy, you need to print it. So how do you print this worksheet? You go to the File tab, you click on Print, then the print options are displayed for you. So basically, they're just the same print option as the ones that we had in Word. In that, you can see the print. You can see the print. You can see the print settings over here. Here we have the print active sheets, where you can change into print entire workbook or into print selection, where you have currently selected. Here we have the page and two. So in this, we can be able to modify our printing and our layout, which will come out of the printer. So in the printing, there is the collated, there is the portrait orientation, there is the size of the page or the size of the paper, there's the margins, and there's no scaling. So page setup. When you open the page setup, you'll be able to go into depth in the page, the orientation of the page. The page can either be portrait or landscape, totally up to you. The scaling you can adjust to or fit to. And here we have paper size, print quality, and first page number. So as you see, that's in page setup, we have the page which automatically opens because it's set as default to open whenever you open the page setup. And in the margins, here you can be able to adjust your margins to the specific inches that you want. So in the top, you can be able to specify. In the right, you can be able to specify to the bottom and also to the left. And also you can be able to specify your header and your footer. You can also specify the center on page. It can be horizontally centered or vertically centered. That's it on the margins. When you look at the header, here you can be able to customize your header and your footer as described before in our Word videos. You can be able to do that here. We move on to our sheet. Here we have the print area where you can be able to indicate all these print titles well, the rows to repeat at top, columns to repeat at left. In the print we have the grid lines, we have the black and white, all that stuff. Yes, that's it on that. So that's it on printing. And once you are able to do that, you will be able to print. You'll be able to click here and you'll be able to print it. So that's on how to print a worksheet. So let's move forward on how to close our worksheet. So if you want to close our worksheet, we talked about our close button over here. You can use that, but you can also use this file. You go to your file, then you click on close, and then you'll be able to close your worksheet. And if you had not saved it, it will give you a prompt box which will tell you to save, don't save, or cancel. So that's pretty crucial in Excel. So that's basically it. If you want to close or if you want to exit, you can press the close button and it will close Excel. So yeah, thank you for listening to today's video.